All right, here we go. A little statement before I go into the video. I was searching the Ducati 2020 Monster 821 and just trying to get some initial videos to change the battery. And YouTube wasn't really giving me anything. It was giving me some 1200s, but I wasn't sure that the 1200 was exactly the same to the 821 because it's got this one has a dual-sided swing arm and obviously a smaller motor and just some different features. So I didn't have any luck, but now that a month has gone by, and that's how YouTube works, it starts feeding me some videos that show me what I asked in the prior month. So I just made the video to help some other people, possibly that want a newer video in 2023 versus 2015, 2016. So enjoy the video if you're thinking about doing the swap from the heavier lead acid battery to the lipopolymer lithium battery, which is really stellar and really lightweight. But here, let's jump into the video. Starting this out, you've got two panels on the left side of the bike that need to be removed. Remove the top one first with one screw there at the very bottom, and then that will allow you to move the secondary cover there that's on the lower portion of the front of the motor there. You need to remove these two pieces so that you can get to two ground wires that ground the electrical system. So you need to disconnect that so you don't make any mistakes and arc out and touch anything and damage the bike's electronic system. Very key to do this. Now, once you have the wires from the electrical system disconnected, you're going to go back and start pulling the battery out of the bike. And the first place to start is the cover right under the rear shock, right in front of the swing arm. As per other videos on YouTube, doing this procedure, removing the battery is pulled out of the bike from the underneath. As you can see here, there's two main bolts that you'll undo to allow to pull the cover down. It kind of flips back and gives you access, but it's limited. So I went ahead an extra step and removed my exhaust from the other side of the bike, and then I removed a little cover that just allowed me to get better access or better viewing of this transition of taking this battery out. It's not necessary that you may have to do this. It's just something that I wanted to do. So I went ahead and removed the exhaust and removed some extra pieces, and I feel that it helped me. What I did here is I removed this hinge pin, and it helps the rear door to, instead of flipping backwards and being limited in the movement that it can go, I just took that out and allowed it to hang straight down. It gave me a lot better access to the battery. Again, not something necessarily that you have to do, but maybe you just need to be aware that you can do it. There's a reason why Ducati charges big money to do anything on a Ducati motorcycle, and this is definitely another case that if you could pay someone to do it and it's not going to hurt you much, go ahead and do that, because everything on the Ducati motorcycle is kind of a burden to do, and it's not at all fun. But here, I finally got the battery out, and here are all the tools that I use to help me assist me to get this battery out. And I'm glad that I have had all these tools at my fingertips. But here's the battery. This is the lead acid battery, and then here's the little rubberized case that fits on the bottom of it. And so you pull the battery out of it, and it sits in that battery case and kind of helps absorb some of the vibration. And then here are the two batteries side by side, and you will see how closely they match each other. And that is a good thing, because the space inside the little, the Monster, the Ducati Monster right there, takes a very specific size battery. So it's a good thing that it's almost identical in size. Just got my lithium battery in, my Antigravity, compared to the same model, almost exact same size, which is good. It's gonna take up just the same amount of space inside the Ducati motorcycle, or up underneath it. I don't know how to tell you the difference, man. It's phenomenal. This battery, the lead acid battery compared to the lithium battery, is basically comparing these two rocks together. The lithium battery right here, I mean, so light it doesn't even really matter compared to this much heavier rock. Look at that. As far as you can just justify the size and weight, because this is the same material as this, but this is how much the lithium battery weighs compared to the lead acid battery. Really shocking, the difference of, I mean, you could just, I mean, it's almost like they cheated me and they didn't give me batteries compared to this. I mean, it's a lot heavier. It's probably feels like maybe 15 of these. But I'm gonna weigh it. I have my trusty scale here. Hopefully this doesn't, as long as you don't touch the terminals with something metal, I don't think it's a problem. But I'm just gonna hook this right there and weigh this. So this back, God, it just doesn't feel like that. 8.55 pounds. 8.55 pounds. And it feels like about 15 pounds. But let's weigh the lithium battery real quick. Just feels so much different. 2.45 pounds. Just feels like nothing. It feels like they cheated me. I mean, that's what it feels like. I mean, it feels like junk, but it's not. The Antigravity name is a quality battery compared to, I mean, a lot of people believe that, and so that's why I bought it. Okay, while you're here viewing my video, I want to just real quick touch base with you. I don't know how educated the people are, the people that are watching the video. You might be a motorcycle expert, you might be a battery expert, you might be all these experts, and so it's not going to necessarily be helpful to you, but I just want to tell you for me to try to be helpful to everybody. So battery tenders. So when Ducatis are hard on batteries, big pistons, a lot of compression. So you live in a really warm climate. Lead acid batteries don't like warm weather. Plus, you know, Ducatis run warm, and anything that's nearby on a Ducati is going to be 200 degrees, 220 degrees at one point. So you need to maintain your battery. I mean, a lead acid battery is like $130. And you know, a good one, a Yusa, is the best motorcycle battery you can buy, basically. But you also want to maintain your lithium battery when you put that on there, because that's a $200 battery. There's two different types of tenders. This was given to me by a friend like 25 years ago, and I've used it all that time. I've plugged my car into it. I've plugged generator battery into it. I've plugged all my batteries. I put, because it has some gator clips that it comes with, and you can just, you know, clip those to your batteries and charge those or maintain them. And so I use it as a maintainer and a charger. But for the lithium battery, you're going to want to get a new charger, because that's only a lead acid. This is newer. I just bought this September 2023, and this is a lead acid and a lithium battery tender charger, and it's got the same, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 foot cord with a quick connect that you can put the pigtail on your bike, and that's already wired into your battery, and then you just secure that to your bike. So when you're finished riding and you're going to put your bike up, and maybe, you know, some people don't ride it every week or every day, and some people ride twice a month or once a month, then you want to come in and you want to plug in to your battery tender, and this maintains your battery. It keeps a current happy charge on your battery, if it's lead acid or lithium battery, and that's what keeps your battery healthy and charged. So hopefully that was helpful, and trying to give all the helpful information that I can. Thank you. All right, you've made it to this point, hopefully. As you can see, the bike is all back together. Excuse the echo, I'm in my garage. It's the best place to avoid all the other noises, but I put the battery back in today after I got it because I was I saw that if you take the battery out and you leave it out long enough, and I don't know exactly how long that time is, then your bike can lock itself, brick itself, and you have to take it back into Ducati dealer and have them whatever they do. The internal memory runs out, or the internal little small battery, and then you're screwed. And I don't have a truck. I don't have a way to get this to downtown Dallas. So I was really panicking last night, and I was like, man, I need to get that freaking battery in, the LiPo battery in, and I need to get that installed. It was a kind of a pain in the butt to install, and there's a reason why the Ducati mechanics probably charge $150 an hour, $175 an hour. I don't know, it's a lot, but they're probably back there cursing every time they have to work on these different bikes, because it's just it's just difficult. And man, I'm glad I'm not a Ducati mechanic and having to work on these things all the time, because I get a little frustrated and some curse words. But I got it back in there. It actually went back together easier than I got it apart. And the likelihood of that is I saw how it comes apart and I knew how it went back together. So it's just some things you kind of got to learn when working on these bikes. It's just the way it is with Ducatis. But I got it back in there, and the bike started right up. And if you have a Ducati, then like the lead acid battery it'll ring. I mean, you can tell they struggle to start with a lead acid battery, because the LiPo battery has a lot more cranking amps. And I think the lead acid is like 130 or something like that, and the lithium battery is like 240. I mean, it's quite a bit more, and the battery, like I said, there's not much to it. How does that work? I mean, it's just battery technology. But I got it in there and it started right up. But before I let you go, I want to tell you, I mean, I had been looking at a LiPo, the lithium battery, getting that, but I just didn't want to spend $200. And so I wanted it, but my mind was telling me no. But in the last 3 months, with it being so hot, 100 degrees plus up to 110 degrees, with me starting it and riding it, the bike obviously gets really, really hot. And batteries don't like being superheated. And so my battery was, even though I always have it on the battery tender, which maintains it, I think I damaged my battery just from riding it around and getting stuck in traffic and with the heat, because it slowly started to where the bike struggled to start, even though I was charging it and the volts and everything, the meter read that it was within operating range. So I think the battery just got damaged. But so there's my justification to go out and spend $250 for a battery and a charger. So that's kind of what I did it. But I'm really excited that I got the battery. It, minimal weight, 7 pounds, 6.5 pounds, I think 6.10 pounds weight savings, additional weight savings. But the bike does run really good now. It started just like instantaneously. I mean, so just touch that trigger, the start button, and it just comes to life. So very worth it in my opinion. And if that battery lasts 5 years, man, we're golden. But what else was I going to tell you watching the video? Here's what I mean when I described earlier a little pigtail. This is a little piece that's probably that long. It's got the same connector on here, but reverse, that plugs into the wall with the battery tender, the Deltran. And so this just wires up to the positive and negative on either the lead acid battery or the lithium, and it gives you direct access to hook up a charger to it, since you can't get into it when it's installed in the bike. So you just come in here, When you're finished riding it, make sure you have it correctly, and then connect the two together like that, and let it sit. This is what I wanted to tell you, is I hooked that charger up. The batteries come pretty well charged, but the battery tender stayed on and blinked amber for about 8 hours, and so the battery needed quite a bit of charging. It's an 800 watt charger, and so that battery needed some work. The lithium battery, and so it's now the charger is blinking green when I unplug it, so that means that it's up past 80% of its capacity, and so when it stays solid green, then it's like 95 to 99% of its capacity, and then it holds it there. So very, very good that I got that charger instead of just dropping the battery in there and riding it, hoping it charges. It's good to have a charger or a tender so that you can just top your battery off, because you want to keep specific amounts of energy in that battery. If it gets too low, or you overexert it and you overcharge it, you could light your bike on fire, or light your house or your garage on fire. So very important to take precautions and use that battery wisely, and then you should be good for 5 or 6 years. I found this video helpful and informative, and anything else, consider just hitting that like button for me as usual, and catch me on future videos as I make them and they come rolling out. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.